Kevin Collins here with another raw file of the week edit for the FroKnowsPhoto.com forums. This is week number 19's photo, and I gotta say that when I saw Greg and Jared edit this today at work, I just couldn't wait to get home to edit it, because this is my kind of photo. I like the landscape stuff, and I like the sunset deal. The ocean is just great. I mean, it's a great subject. I wish I was closer to it, but anyway, let's get on with the basics here, and then I'll jump straight into the edit. It's not my picture. Don't know whose picture it is. I'm only doing the edits. I can't claim responsibility, or what's the word that I'm looking for? Anyway, I can't take credit for taking the picture. Okay. It's a great picture. It's taken with a Nikon D5000, 1/50th of a second at f3.5, ISO 800, 18 millimeters on an 18-200, f3.5 to 6.3. I don't think that's a kit lens. It may be, but I'm not sure. Again, I'm not a Nikon guy, so I'm not sure. But with it being a variable aperture, it strikes me as an inexpensive lens. But anyway, the only thing that I can say about it critique-wise that I would have liked to have seen would be the horizon be just a little higher or just a little lower. I understand that looking at it, I mean, it looks to me like the sky kind of gets blah up here, and if you were to pan down, you know, you may not have gotten nothing more but rocks. But it looks to me like if maybe he'd have zoomed in just a little bit and then panned down, it might have made for a more interesting picture. But other than that, I mean, and don't, you know, I mean, I apologize if that sounded wrong, or if that sounded like a sideways comment. It's not. I appreciate the willingness for these people to put their pictures up there, and I'm really envious. I wish I could be at places like that to take pictures like that. But you know, I'm just stating what I would have done. So anyway, I got to tell you that I edited this picture before I started this video, and what I came up with was drastically influenced by what Jared did. I mean, the very first thing I wanted to do was to throw the gradient filter on it and see what I could do with it. I'm still going to do that kind of setup. I looked at both a black and white and a color, and this one's definitely a color. I just can't get over I mean, Jared or Greg was ripping on the lack of dynamic range in this picture, and maybe, you know, I'm just not used to something like a D3 or a 5D kind of quality picture. The best thing that I've got my hands on so far is a Canon 40D. But this looks, and from what I understand, my SXI is like a baby version of the 40D anyway. So I mean, this looks, I mean, obviously the colors need to pop a little more, but it looks to me like there's a great deal of information in this, and we're going to try and bring it out. So as usual, I'm going to do the first thing and create a virtual copy and make sure I'm working in the copy, which I am. Oh, you might have noticed that in the past, you know, some of my videos have been with Bridge and Photoshop, and some of them have been with Lightroom, and I've been wrestling back and forth trying to figure out which one that I'm going to stick with. And I think I've pretty much come to the conclusion that I'm going to stick with Lightroom. It just makes, while it does have its problems, and I guess it's not problems with the program, it's problems with the way that I want to do things. Um, I want to do things a certain way, and it doesn't want to do that. I've pretty much found workarounds for them, and that's the way that I'm going to continue doing it. And I'm actually only going to be using Photoshop for just heavy lifting stuff. So I mean, for most of my touch-ups, I'll probably just be doing the adjustments in Lightroom. I've even installed LR Mogrify 2, which put my borders and stuff around it. So we'll just you'll probably be seeing me sticking with Lightroom, except for maybe portraits or something from for the future. And I'm going to go back to the picture of the bride with the eyes. I think it was week 11. I found a new technique to work on eyes that I'm gonna produce another color version of that, and I may even produce another video with it. But anyway, let's get into this one. So like I said, Jared, his edit just kind of it's really tainted, I guess, the way that I'm going to edit this photo. But I am going to use one thing that Greg did, and that's turn the lens correction on, because if you'll watch this, you'll see this little bit of vignetting here. That vignetting is enough to make it look like it's wrapping around a barrel, and that's enough to make me want to fix it. So there we go. And I looked at the rotation. Well, what happened there? And it looked to me like the horizon was straight, or straight enough anyway, so I'm not even going to mess with that. So we've done the lens correction, and I did the same thing that Greg did. I turned on the automatic deal, and it couldn't pick which lens that it had for whatever reason, and I just told it Nikon, and it found the rest. So we'll just leave it at that. So here we go. The white balance was shot at 6,000. I'm going to change this to cloudy, which pumps it up to about 6,500 and brings out a purpley shade into the sky here. It brings out some, it makes the foam of the waves here a little whiter, and I think that's a little more true. But now at this point, you'll see that we've blown out the sky, and we've blown out the rocks, and we basically got to choose which one we're going to save. And quite frankly, it's got to be the sky. So what we're going to do is I'm going to bring in the recovery a little bit, just to try and bring out the stuff that we lost there, maybe a little bit more. I'm going to pump up the blacks just ever so slightly, right about there. I'm going to pump up the clarity. Ooh, that's too much. Somewhere right about 40, 45. I'm going to zoom in here and hit the vibrance just a little bit. Okay. So now it's kind of got a purple tinge to it, and we're going to fix that by bumping the exposure just a little bit. And then I'm going to do the gradient just like Jared did. I'm going to start about here and pull down and pull that back up. I'm going to drop the exposure, which brings out the sky. Drop it about 1 1/4 stops. I'm going to pump up the contrast, pump up the saturation. You see it getting all blue up here? I'm going to back it back down just a little bit. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this color. And I'm going to try and choose a purple. And maybe just make it a little lighter. somewhere like about there, I guess. Pull that down just a little more. See what that does. Maybe not make it that dark. Now, I've when I was playing earlier, I even played with some pink tones to bring out the purple. Um, I may stick with that, but I did dark blues. I even did greens. The green just didn't work. I went yellow and it kind of made it look like all black and white up there, so I didn't care for that. What I was looking for was shades in that sunset to try and match. And I'm thinking it's either going to be the blue because it's getting dark. This is sunset. If I'm not mistaken, this thing was taken at almost 7 o'clock at night, sometime in December, so it was getting fairly dark. So it's either going to be a blue or it's going to be this pink. And I'm thinking I'm going to stick with the blue with just a tinge of cyan and maybe just a little more saturation. And to me, it just brings out the ocean at night feel to me because the sun's gone. I mean, it's set down behind the horizon. But there's enough light left that you can see this foam, and you can see the bands in the sky. I wonder if I can bring that down just a little more to get a little more definition in that. You know what? What I may do is like that. Pop the exposure back up. Oop, too much. And bring this less saturated. So that way we get a little more definition in the oranges and the yellows there. So, I mean, you know, what would it look like cropped? The only thing I did there was I dropped off the top part and brought the horizon up. I'm not sure that I care for it actually, just to be honest with you, because you lose all of this color variation in here. So I think that's where I'm going to leave it. Yeah, I think that is where I want to leave it. So with that, I'll leave you until next time. I'm going to put a couple of plugs here for both my websites. My primary blog is at klcollins.org, and my photo gallery, photo blog, photo information area is at photos.klcollins.org. Now that photos website is just getting started, so there's not much there. It is getting spring, so the pictures are going to start getting added to it, and hopefully more information will start popping up there too. So anyway, with that, I hope you enjoyed the outcome here. If you're on YouTube watching this, don't forget to rate and subscribe. And if you're in the Fro forums, give me some feedback. What do you think about it? Did I copy Jared? I mean, for the most part, I think I did. I think I may have tweaked it just a little bit as far as colors are concerned. But what do you think? Let me know. Either send me a private message or respond to this post. So until next time, we'll see you.